Of May, and the first part of this is the page that's just got the pictures and the month on it. I'm going to scrap lift this layout from the cut and paste K & Company pad that has all these different designs in it, and I'm going to be using this pad of paper called K Sarah Sarah from K & Company, and you can use any pad of paper that you want. And you can start with a colored piece of paper like this, or you can start with a white piece of paper, which is what I did. And I wish I had started with the colored one. I like to do my scrapbook papers and explain them in layers because that also helps those that do digital scrapbooking. First off, I cut a piece of paper that is approximately 3.5 by 12. And for the purpose of doing the video, I am not gluing these down permanently. I used Tombow mono adhesive that is removable. So this piece, I first distressed it with Tim Holtz peeled paint, and then I used my gel pen and my ruler to draw these grid lines that are 1/4 of an inch. So I just did 1/4 of an inch all the way down to about here, and then you could do 1/4 of an inch kind of all the way across the page if you want. You can stop about here, you don't have to go all the way down like I did. And then this part will go on the left, and if you're using the whole page, you just distress the corners with the peeled paint color. Next, I needed to add another section, and you'll see a little bit why, and this one's about 3 by 12, but it could have been an inch by 12 and it would have been fine. To copy the piece of grid paper that goes along the bottom, I cut this one. It's about 2 1/4 by 12, and it fits on the bottom of the page. The next piece, and I distressed it with broken china, is the blue that goes around the edges. The next piece is a piece of the same pad of paper, and I cut it out so that this would be showing this neat little design, and I distressed it with antique linen, and it will go approximately in the corner right here. The next piece of paper is from a composition notebook, and I scanned it in, printed it out onto cardstock, and then I used the antique linen to distress the paper. It is approximately 3 by 2.5 inches, and I'm going to be putting it just kind of down here in this corner. The next piece is a coordinating piece of cardstock that measures 3 by 2.5. I used my gel pen and my ruler to do lines all the way down for journaling. Then I used the antique linen to do the distressing on the edges. It goes, about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch down from the top flush to the left side. Next, I found a piece of foiled paper that has embossed writing. You can find any paper you want that has some writing on it. And it doesn't have to include the whole page, it can just be towards the bottom. This measures approximately 8 inches by 7.5, but you probably want to measure yours to be the same length, which would be maybe an 8 1/8. I fit it like so, and as you can see, I needed that extra green right there. The next page I did the distress with the antique linen, and this is approximately 4 by 7, and it goes up here. The next piece is just cardstock that measures about 3.5 by 6.5. I just wrote April showers, bring May flowers, much love, mother, and I folded it up and kind of did this and folded it this way and unfolded it and used the antique linen and just kind of scraped it across there to get a nice worn and loved look to it. And this one you might want to go back and kind of straighten out and make sure you got some good adhesive on there to keep it down, because it is kind of buckled up and it might cause you some issues when you're trying to put the rest of your paper down. This is a piece that measures approximately 2.5 by 5, and then I ripped off the edge here. I again distressed it with the antique linen color. I wanted to make sure I had some pattern on this side and kind of leave this clear for some of the stamping that I'm going to be doing. It goes up here on the upper right hand side. The next piece is a strip of paper that's approximately 8 inches long. I would cut it to 8.5, and then I lined it up in the cutter so that this edge was at 1/2 inch and this edge was at 3/4 inch, so when I cut it, it would be tapered. I distressed it with the antique linen and I put it up across here like so. Then I went through and I wanted to recreate the tape look, so I took some white vellum and I cut it about 3/4 inch wide, and some tan vellum to look like older tape, which was about 1/2 inch wide, and I just used my tape dispenser and I would hold the vellum up and just rip it off so that it looked like tape. It would get those little jagged edges. So this piece I just put, it's okay if you put your adhesive on there and it shows through, because old tape looked like that anyway. So you want to put that there, and you want to put a little piece over here, a little piece of the older looking one perhaps over here, another piece of the older looking one along this edge that goes over our little journaling area, and then a tiny itty bitty little piece that's going to go up here on the edge. Next is the dictionary parts. You're going to want to find vellum, if you can, that has dictionary sayings on it that have to do with springtime or family, and most of these have things like believe, family. I have a whole page of it here, and I don't know where I got it. It was a long time ago. But I do know that you could recreate this with your own dictionary, a copier, and some cardstock, or even find stickers. And you don't even have to use the dictionary words. You could just use big words and write your own definitions out, whatever you want to do, just something similar. I put this piece up here, like so, and then I had the word joy, and it was cut off, so I just thought that would look great over here, kind of flush. Next, I put the word cheer, kind of overlapping the two pieces, and then I had the word cheerful, and I put it like so. Then I had brilliant, and I put it down here, and brighten, sorry, and it just fit off to the side just like the piece that I'm scrap lifting, so you've got them off to the side here. Next, we need to put our picture matting, and what I used for matting was some vellum, and this vellum is going to be approximately 5 by 4 for a 3.5 by 4.5 picture, and I just used this as an example of the picture. I have a newborn and a 3.5-year-old, and I haven't had time to pick out pictures for this yet. I'm going to set that like so, and then I have two other pictures, 3 by 3, so the mats will be 3.5 by 3.5, and you want to just kind of layer them on there. Make sure you don't cover up your definitions. And maybe put this one down here, like so. Next, I made the word May with my gypsy using gypsy font. I've welded it together, squished it up. It's about 3 by 3.5. Then I used my Stampin' Up! Marker with the brush end to just go around all the edges, and then I smudged some on the bottom part to make it a little darker. And you can throw that over like that. Then I cut out some butterflies, and there's all kinds of different butterflies on your gypsy that you can cut out.